Bonjour tout le monde, aujourd'hui je vais vous présenter un exposé ou bien une présentation sur le métier du tutorat. Cet exposé sera entièrement fait en anglais. The title of my exposé is speaking about tutoring. This is normally the plan I've prepared to have in this presentation. I will speak first about the generations of distance education. I've divided my expose into two parts. The first part is about tutoring, including a definition of tutoring, a definition of what is a tutor, the types of tutors, qualities of good tutors, and I will speak also about vertical tutoring. In the second part, I will speak about the online tutoring, and I will start as usual by a definition, move into advantages of online tutoring, the roles of online tutoring, and of course the effective online tutoring. So as we know, distance education wasn't as we know it nowadays. It started before the 1960s with the correspondence education and the use of print materials. Then, in the mid-60s, started the emergence of the distance education as well as the audio tapes. In the mid-70s, we started hearing about the broadcasting included into distance education. In the mid-90s, we started noticing the appearance of a new concept, which is the e-learning, as well as the use of digital content. Of course, it can be explained by the appearance of internet. And most recently, we shifted from the e-learning to the m-learning with always the use of digital contents. So, what is tutoring? Normally, when speaking about tutoring, we have to differentiate it with e-tutoring. Tutoring can be defined as the process of guidance in a specific course or subject. It can also be the process of moderation and facilitation to achieve learning, or too simply, it is a supplemented effort done by the tutor. A tutor in itself can be a normal tutor in a classical educational system, which we know or we refer to as a teacher, a normal tutor, or an e-tutor. A tutor is an academic person who has a responsibility of moderation or guidance of the learners through tutoring in the distance learning environment. He is engaged in TDL. TDL is too simply tutoring in the distance learning, referred to as tutor. And the third type, of course, are tutors engaged in an online learning, who are referred usually as e-tutors. E here refers to electronic. So we have many types of tutors. We start with the pre-K tutors for children having 4 or 5 years old, then elementary tutors for primary schools or junior schools children who have difficulties in learning, general tutors for students in universities, students in special institutes, and students in special establishments. We have also special education tutors for children or people with special needs, or what we call disabled persons. Specialty subject tutors. For each subject we have a tutor. For instance, for English we can have a tutor just in English. For French we can have a tutor just in French to help the tutees or the learners to trespass the difficulties encountered in that subject. The test prep tutors are tutors who help you to prepare for your examinations and tests. And then the homework helper are just normal tutors helping you, and they have the mission to make you know how to work in your homeworks. Of course, a tutor has many qualities. The first quality is patience, then the ability to teach, then the passion to teach or to do the job of tutor. We have the morality, The maturity, of course, not anyone can be a tutor unless he is conscious of his job and the people who he will teach or tutor, and then the skill of doing the tutoring. Good lad suggests tutor should possess the following: a good subject knowledge, interpersonal skills, communication skills. A tutor should be also approachable, accessible at any time, sensitive to others' needs, and above all, he should be a mentor and a role model, which means that the tutees should follow the tutor in whatever he does. These elements here must be measured in an application or an interview process. To finish with the tutoring, I would like to speak about vertical tutoring. It is a complete transformation of how schools manage learning and support. Of course, it is a system built on mixed age groups, which has 3 goals. The first goal is to improve learning outcomes. The second goal is to make teaching easier and fun. The third goal is to improve interconnectivity and communication of parents, staff, and students. Let's now move to online tutoring. Speaking about online tutoring, let us think about a definition, a suitable definition for this online tutoring. Online tutoring implies imparting education through the means of computer, a broadband connection, and other technological inputs. This chart personalizes what I'm speaking about. So to be an online tutor, someone should possess a personal computer, a broadband connection, a microphone and a headset, a digital pen or a tablet, or he should use a whiteboard and an excellent communication skills. Online tutoring is to manage the communication of others online, according to Koglan, or to simply to move from the sage on the stage, the notion of the traditional tutor, to a guide on the side, which is the mentor and the guide, according to Kemp. Advantages of online tutoring vary. We can have the availability, various subjects, accessibility, empowering techniques, technology, selection, flexible schedules, expert assistance, convenience, personalized approaches, affordable, high-quality instruction, and value. Some of these will be explained later. So, the roles of online tutors, as I said, are many, but the most important ones can be summarized in these. A tutor can be a content expert who builds online libraries and resource pathways, or captures and retains big audiences. He can be available also 24 hours a day, synchronously or asynchronously enable skills development and adoption of in-house knowledge culture in e-learners. Of course, he can have a value and work with diversity. A tutor should mobilize active learning. He should relate to students without meeting, and above all, to promote students' ownership of the learning process. A tutor should be a mentor and creatively e-moderate, who builds online groups and communities, and who leads information exchange and knowledge construction processes. To finish with, I would like to speak about how to be an online tutor effectively. So I will compare traditional and online tutors. In the past, tutors used to be lecturers, sages on the stage, provider of answers and content, solitary tutors, who have total control of teaching environment, and most importantly, the notion of having a power over teaching experiences. But everything changes since nowadays we can witness that a tutor is a consultant or a guide on the side. He is also an expert questionnaire and designer, a team member who shares control with fellow learners and who shares power with his students. So I hope that the expose was beneficial to you. If you have any comments or observation, you can leave them in the space below. Thank you very much. You can have a tutor just in French to help the tutees or the learners to trespass the difficulties encountered in that subject.